Howdy, friends. Welcome to Al's Dog Training Tips. This is Season 3, Episode number 1. And before we get into the episode proper, I just want to share a couple of things with you guys that are maybe new to the channel or maybe longtime viewers. So I'm changing up the format on Al's Dog Training Tips a little bit. We're going to go to video. I'd like to do these in video because I think it helps me to be able to engage with you guys in a better way. I think YouTube is a great platform for you guys to be able to leave comments and for me to hear what you're thinking and what's going on with your dogs. So we're going to be doing these as video. You're going to also notice that we're going to change the format just a couple of other ways. I'm not going to be saying the date like I used to when I was recording just audio. Now it's going to have an episode number. And the reason for that is I'm going to try to make several of these a couple of times a week instead of making them once every evening. And the reason for that is if you had been listening for any amount of time, you would notice that sometimes my energy levels were just a little bit too low to be able to bring you the best value. I was a little tired at the end of the day, but I really wanted to stay consistent with my habit. So we're going to try this out and see if this goes a little bit better to be able to bring you the most amount of value. So with that being said, if you're new here, thank you so much for watching this video. If you've been watching it, if you've been subscribed or watching these for some time, thanks so much. It means the world to me that you're here. So let's get into the episode. So the title for today's episode is, what does your dog's name mean? So I have my two German Shepherd puppies. I have Alpha and I have Jericho, and they right now are 10 months old, and Jericho is about to be 8 months old. So they're not baby puppies anymore, but they're getting a little bit bigger, still young dogs. And one of the things that I wanted to do is I didn't want to screw up their names. I didn't want their names to mean something negative. Yes, my dogs make mistakes, and yes, I make mistakes too. And sometimes, even against the knowledge that I have, the experience that I have, I still associate their names to the things I don't want them to do. So what I want to share with you is maybe some of the mistakes that you might be making in associations with your dog's name, and really show you what I, as a professional dog trainer, want us to be able to teach dogs what their name actually means. Okay, so first off, your dog's name should not mean something negative. So it shouldn't mean anything negative. It shouldn't mean don't jump on my guest. It shouldn't mean don't counter surf. It shouldn't mean leave the other dog alone. It shouldn't mean stop pulling me on the leash. It shouldn't mean any of those things. If your dog is doing that and you're saying their name as you're maybe using some form of punishment, and that's generally what you're doing, that's a bad call. And you can see if you just keep repeating that, it's going to make the dog's name a negative thing. And the big downside to that is your recall is really going to struggle because your dog is going to think that, hey, when I hear this name, only negative things happen. So what is a better alternative than associating it to those things? Well, at least in my opinion, the very first thing that I want a dog to think its name means is, I get food. I want your dog to think that whenever they hear their name, that really means I get food. And you can do that pretty simply. When you're training with your dog, have some tasty food in your hand, and right as you begin to open your hand to give them the food, say their name. For example, if I have Jericho, I would have the food in my hand, I'd bring it up to his mouth, and as I open my hand, I would say, good boy, Jericho. Get repetitive about that. Have 1 or 2 sessions where that's all that you're doing, that you're just getting your dog to do something, and then after they do it, as you're delivering the food, say their name as you're opening your hand and they begin to consume it. Get a lot of repetitions there. So again, the first one is your dog's name should mean to them, I get food. The second one isn't that much different. At least for my 2 German Shepherds, they love to play, and they love to play fetch, and they love to play tug. So I want their name to mean, I get the toy. So when they're doing something very similarly the way that I do it with food, right as my dog is biting the object that I want them to play with, the tug or the ball, I'm saying, good dog, Alpha, good dog, Jericho, good girl, Gabby. I'm saying that right as they're doing that together. Remember, as you're thinking about your voice, your dog doesn't necessarily understand the context of your voice unless it's been through training. But if you're bringing the tug and they're biting it and you're saying that as a repetitive action, then your dog is going to be like, oh, my name means I get food. Oh, my name means I get the toy. And then the last one, after getting food and getting toys, I want your dog's name to mean I get affection. So as you have your dog doing anything, as you begin to pet and stroke your dog, add their name to that. So these are the three main ways that I want to associate to my dogs what their name means. I want them to understand that when they hear good dog Jericho, that they're either gonna be getting food, they're going to be getting they're going to be getting the toy, or they're going to be getting affection from me, instead of having the dog understand that their name is associated to something negative. If I do this well in the beginning, it's going to put me in a much better position to be able to create a recall. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's tip. I hope that was useful for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like. That really helps the channel. Leave a comment down below if there's something that you learned or something that you would like me to answer in the future. Well, thanks again. Have a great day and happy training.